Hello class, this is a video tutorial on congruency tests. The four congruency tests for triangles, we're going to be focusing just on triangles now, are three sides, side. The second one is two sides and an angle, so side, angle, side. The third one is angle, angle, side. And the fourth one is right angle, a hypotenuse, and a side. Right? And I'm going to go into detail for each of these. Okay, so let's take a look now at the first example. So if you have three equal sides on each triangle, so if you have matching sides on each of the triangles, so let's take a look at triangle 1 and triangle 2. Here we have a single dash that tells us that it's the same as this one, so we have one pair. We have a double dash in this triangle, and we have a double dash in this triangle. So it tells us that this pair are equal. And we have a triple dash here and a triple dash there. So it tells us that these two are equal. As a result, we have three pairs of equal sides. 1, 2, 3. So this fulfills the test of side, 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 because we have one side, two sides, three sides. And these examples here also show this same principle. Let's take a look. We have one pair here, we have another pair there, and we have a third pair there. So since we have three pairs of equal sides, 1, 2, and 3, it tells us that this triangle ABC, is congruent to triangle CDE. In the same case with this one, take a look. We have a 3, we have a 3, so we have one pair of equal sides. We have a 5, and we have a 5, so we have two pairs of equal sides. And the last one is this one here in the middle. Since this triangle and this triangle share this same side, they must be equal to both of them. So we have three pairs, 1, 2, and 3. Therefore, the triangle WXZ is congruent to triangle YZX. And lastly, we have one pair here, 6 and 6. We have another pair, 9 and 9. And the last pair, 8 and 8. So these two triangles are congruent because of side, side, side. The second congruency test is side, angle, side. So we have two equal sides and the included angle, okay, in both triangles. By the way, the included angle is the angle in between both sides. Hence why the position of the A is in between both S's. So the angle must be in between both sides. I'll show you what we mean here. So we have triangle 1 and triangle 2. We have one pair of equal sides. We have a second pair of equal sides. And the angle in between, the angle that's the same, so this angle is the same as this angle. They are both in between the sides that are equal. We can't put this angle over here. If this angle were here, we're not guaranteed congruent triangles. So the angle must be in between the two sides. Here's another example. We have one pair of equal sides. This side here in both triangles is shared, so they're on the same line, so they must be equal. And notice how this angle is equal to this angle, and the angle is in between the two equal sides. So these two sides have this angle in between, and these two sides have this angle in between, which, because of side, angle, side, because of that, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. So these are what the tests prove, that these, if you can find this scenario, you can prove that the two triangles are congruent. Here's another one. We have one pair, we have two pairs, and the angle is in between both sides. Therefore, this triangle is congruent to this triangle. And lastly, our last example here, we have two 11s, so they're on both triangles. We have two 15s on both triangles, and the 40 is in between both equal sides. So these two triangles are congruent because of side angle side. So these are the first two tests, 1 and 2. Let's move on and get to the third and the fourth. The third one is two angles and one side on both triangles. Angle, angle, side. So two angles, angle, angle, and one side, side. Let's take a look at this example here. We have two angles, this angle here and that angle there. That's one. This angle here and that angle there, these two angles are equal because the markings tell us, and we have one side. This side can be anywhere, so it could have been these two that are the same. It could have been these two that are the same, or it could have been these two that are the same. So long as we have two angles, one, or two pairs of angles, 1, 2, and a side. So triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2. And these are just more examples of them. Take a look. We have two angles, 1, 2, two angles, and an equal side. Therefore, this triangle is congruent to this triangle because of angle, angle, side. And finally, our last example here. We have 4 centimeters, so there's our side, and our two angles, 50 and 80. So these two triangles are congruent because of angle, angle, side. Our last proof here is if we have one right angle, we have the hypotenuse. I'll show you I'll go into depth the definition of that, and another side on both triangles, which is why we have R for right angle, H for hypotenuse, and another side. The hypotenuse, by the way, is the side opposite the right angle. So, for example, if I had this triangle here, just focus just on this triangle here. Wherever the right angle is, the hypotenuse is directly opposite from it. So the hypotenuse from here is this side. The hypotenuse here is this side because it is opposite the right angle. Anyway, let's move on to the test. So let's take a look. We have before us, we have a pair of right angles. So this right angle is the same as that one. We have the hypotenuse that are equal, and we have another side that is equal. Because of this, these two triangles are congruent. Another example that we have is here. We have two right angles, this right angle and that right angle. We have one side that's equal, and we have the, oh sorry, that's not the side, that's the hypotenuse that's equal, and we have another side that's equal. So these two triangles are congruent because of RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, side. And finally, here we have, and the last example we have is we have a right angle. We have a hypotenuse because it is opposite the right angle. So we have 10 and 10. And we have another side, 7 and 7. So these two triangles are congruent. So these are the 4 congruency tests. Okay. And I hope you have a great day.